Okay, I'm down here at Siphon Hot Springs. It's also known as Little Hot Creek. Sorry about the tricky light sensor. If you've been watching my videos, you know that that's one problem with this phone camera. It's a great camera, but its light sensor really sucks. So that road leads up to the top where there's more camping. The road does seem to be better, like they've recently fixed it, but I'm not going to mess with that. I'm good parked right where I'm at. It's level. I'm close enough to the springs. Now this right here is the regular parking area. I've camped here before, but it's not real level, and my new refrigerator is a little more temperamental than my old refrigerator. My old refrigerator, I could park at angles like this, and that thing would still keep everything frozen. This one, it'll still work at an angle like that, but half of the ice box will, half of the freezer part of the ice box will thaw out. So I need to buy a fridge fan to keep the air circulated better, and then I'm pretty sure I can park even on unlevel spots. Right over here we've got, usually there's some clothing here. People leave clothing behind, and so other people will leave it on the fence in case they come back. It's easy to find. The opening is right here, and that is Little Hot Creek. The water in there is pretty hot, but I have seen people soaking directly in that water before, which, hey, if you can do it, I like it hot, but not that hot. You see the pipe running down here. That is a siphon, which is why they call this hot spring siphon. There's some really interesting geology around here. There's an area up there, I don't know how well you can see it, but that darkened area on the rock, people used to camp there and build fires against that rock. But then somebody found a bunch of Indian artifacts, so they shut that little section off to camping. And then we've got these caves back here, which we might go film later. I don't think it'll get added into this video because they're just not that interesting. But who knows? I may not upload this today. I might wait and do it all in one. This is where I heard Bigfoot. Yeah, Bigfoot. I know that might sound crazy. I don't really care. Somebody left the valve on, which means this is going to be way hotter than I want. And they left it on pretty good. I hate people sometimes. So yeah, anyways, somebody left the valve on. I was camping right where I'm camped now, down there, a couple years ago, and I heard this scream coming from up on top of that ridge line. It sounded like the biggest, manliest woman you can imagine being skinned alive. It was really high-pitched like a woman, yet it was full of deep bass at the same time. It's really hard to explain. Now, I've lived in the mountains most of my life. I've heard mountain lions, bobcats, you name it. If it lives in California, I've heard it. And I've never heard anything like that. The scream went for 5 minutes between breaths before it would stop for air. I mean, even a trained opera singer would have trouble holding a note at that kind of volume for that long. And it was... My dogs aren't scared of anything, but they wouldn't even lift their heads up, wouldn't even perk their ears up. They just tried to ignore that noise was even there. They wouldn't come out from under the blankets. They wouldn't do squat. So what I'm theorizing is this Bigfoot was traveling along these ridge lines. He dropped down into this little valley and cut across the creek. Up further, it's even hotter. If you've ever had hot water spilled on your shoe or your sock, you know how it will hold the heat there longer and cause it to burn worse than just sticking a bare item, a bare body part in. And I'm thinking the foot of a Bigfoot must have hair, and it held it in, and it kept burning, and they probably, by the time they got up here somewhere, they couldn't take it anymore, and they started screaming bloody murder like a big crybaby. It lasted for, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes, and I actually fell back asleep listening to it, but not before I got up and loaded my shotgun. Tried to get the dogs interested. I kept saying, hey, what is that? What's out there? But they weren't having any part of it. Well, I'm going to get in here and have me a soak, if it's not too hot. You guys do what you want. Don't let anyone tell you you can't. And if you think you heard Bigfoot, don't let anybody tell you it wasn't. Or maybe you should let them. You know, maybe you didn't hear Bigfoot, but I know what I heard.